Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're at part 2 of our current shed. It's not a house, it's just a shed clean out. Not even a total clean out, we're just basically cherry picking stuff. If you saw part 1 yesterday, we're following on. I only finished filming about 10 minutes ago, just having a bite to eat. Christine made me some curried egg sandwiches. What a treasure she is, worth her weight in gold. So I'll finish this. The weather's still holding off, it's still cloudy, which is nice. Very steamy though. And I thought in this episode, we've got to go through this shed and pull out anything we want from this back shed, get it into the van, and then we can finish off what's in the carport area later on. Hopefully the sun doesn't come out because it would be almost unbearable conditions. Still, we've got to soldier on. I've got lots of water, I've got coffee, I've had some sustenance. We're right to go. Now, have a look at what I found in the shed so far. I started in this end and I just wanted to basically work my way through methodically and get everything. Now I got all the computer stuff off the top of those cupboards, and the cupboards themselves, those storage cabinets, only have personal paperwork in it, boxes of it actually, so I can leave that well alone. There's a couple of shed items here. That's a roller on a stand. I guess if it's handy if you've got a woodwork set up like a table planer. And there's a Black & Decker fold up sort of workbench vice type of thing. I don't think I need either of those, but they'll certainly sell well through the shop. Found an old mag wheel in a box. By the look of the scuffs on it, it was replaced with a new one. It might even be cracked or something, but they're pretty good scrap value. They're basically a cast aluminium, although I think they've got magnesium in them. I think the scrapyards buy them separately, but they pay pretty well. On top of the cabinets, I found some more keyboards. Let's get them around the right way. Now, there's nothing that jumps out as valuable, and some of them are very yellowed. I know you can retro bright them back to a more reasonable colour, but I don't think any of them are worth a lot. I will have to research them. They're all the old AT plugs, like a DIN plug, so they're back in the 80s for sure. I'll check them out. I'm certainly taking them with me. In this corner, I found a large old air compressor set up here on a frame. I'll take that back. I mean, if nothing else, the electric motor's worth something. I'm leaving these little display shelves here. I think they would have been in a chemist's shop at some stage, and yes, if we had to clean the shed out, I'd certainly take them and I'd probably sell them, but I've only got today and I don't really want them. I think there's more work than what they're worth, so they can stay here. I'm putting cardboard in one spot and rubbish in one spot, try to leave it neat and organised for them, and I'll work through. Now I found a couple of empty boxes, which is handy, so all that glass and everything can stay there. The paint in the middle of the room can stay there. There are some there's a cricket bat and some stumps. I might take them back. And a hammer, always worth grabbing tools. And I'm not sure what's on the next shelf there. We'll get into those boxes shortly. In this box we looked in before, I didn't have my glasses on and I wasn't really sure what we had. Well, there are some power supplies, but there's also all of these would have been stock from a chemist shop, I guess, and they're all camera flash bulbs. Look at that, very 70s, and they're all the bulbs that flash. You use once, flash, and you throw away, and of course you have to go and buy more. They should sell pretty well. I might be able to sell them on eBay. There's some older style ones, and some of these other boxes I held up that I couldn't see in the darkness. I've managed to find a light switch too. They're all flash bulbs as well. So this is a pretty cool box. We'll certainly take that back, and there may be some good eBay stock there. So I'm up to these shelves here. I'll just check what's in the boxes at the bottom, and if there's nothing I want there, we'll pull them out, perhaps put the cardboard in one spot and move the paint back out of the road. I like to leave the shed looking neat even if we're leaving the rubbish. So that's where I'm up to at this stage. Okay, this was from down the bottom of the wire baskets there. We have some liquid magnet, removes oil grease from cement floors. Okay, I actually have an oil stain in my driveway. We'll be able to test that out. What's that? Cleanacrete, specially prepared to remove oil and grease. Well, we'll take that too and try it. At least it's got one of its labels on there. That's a nice anodized aluminium jug, measuring jug, but it's a bit bent out of shape. Still, I reckon it's worth cleaning up. We have 3-in-1 oil, some Vaseline and a paintbrush. We might as well pack it. We'll sort that out at home. Some very old Brasso. It is in mill though. I've got plenty of that. I think we'll leave that here. In my experience, it tends to break down and not work properly later on. I suppose you've got to give it a good shake. What are we? Very messy oil cans, though. There's a grease gun. That's a nice old oil can. Made in England, little brass tag on it. There's a grease gun and another oil can in the bottom, I think. Very messy, but we shall clean those up. Alright, anything else of value? Brass and copper polish. It feels like it's empty or dried up. Some grease tins, beauty, here we go. Caltex, £1, so it's an older one. These tins sell very well, that's still nearly full of grease. And this one's another one, Golden Fleece, that's one of the better ones to find. Snow White Petroleum Jelly, really good condition. Grease tins normally are in good condition because they're so dirty and greasy they never rust. So that's a nice tin. I would think that's probably $30 or $40 at a guess. I will check that. The other one, probably 20 to 30. Nice little find in that box. All right, what's in the other box under here while we're going? It looks like paving. Yeah, like slices of brick. Anyway, they're pavers of some sort. Oh, there's more underneath. Okay, I don't want them. They're staying there. Another box over here. Looks like car care stuff, plumbing fittings, gardening stuff. Okay, I don't think there's anything what I want in this box. Yeah, Baygon, so garden insects. Alright, I'll have a quick look in there, but I think that one can probably stay. What's down the bottom? A little bit of hardware. I'll just check it to make sure there's no valuable stuff in there. Sometimes you get little handy oilers. They're quite collectible as well. There's a tin that's got a barcode on it, so that's not very old. Orange biscuits. No, they can stay. And under here we just have some old, there's a glass lolly jar of some sort under there. And some old kitchen bakeware, but it's quite rusty. Alright, I'll dig through that and I'll show you if there's anything good. Nothing else exciting in there. I've stacked the carpet up so it's a bit neater, and I've moved the paint across out of the road. So we have a fairly good expanse in the middle of the shed now. There's nothing on that shelf. There's only some timber up the top. I don't want any of that. This cabinet was probably a display in the chemist. It looks like it has a fluoro light in it, so I'm just going to leave that. It is electrical, yes, but I don't want the cabinet, and I'm not going to chop the cord off. Someone might use it for something, probably not. But all right, let's move around to this side. We have two boxes up the top. Nothing much else on these shelves. There's an old photo album there. I don't want that. Looks like there's no photos in it anyway. So we'll get these two boxes down. That's pretty heavy. What's in this one? Oh, it might be garden lighting or something in that one. I'll pull that down and have a look. What's on the back shelf here? A downpipe diverter. Don't know if I have a use for that, but it's probably a bit good to go in the rubbish, because I think just about everything here will go in a skip if I don't take it. They're garden, well, we might use those in our garden, watering spikes and joiners and things. There's a nice long sash clamp here. I'll certainly take that one. There's an old drill brace there. They sell okay. Yeah, I might just throw that sort of stuff in a box. Same with all the hose fittings. We're using them at home all the time. There's really no value in that lot though. And this thin pipe, we've got plenty of it, but I'll take any good bits. I've got to take this Makita trimmer, so we'll check that out one day and see if it works. There's some new gloves here. We'll throw those in a box. What's in this bag? It's falling apart. Postcard, money bag, letters, personal stuff. Oh, what is in here? Might be film. Negatives. What's in this money bag? Money maybe? No, it looks like film reels. They look like empty ones. Alright, that bag's well and truly had it. I think we'll leave that there. There's another bag on the floor. What's in this one? Oh, a box. A nice wooden box. What's in here? Ah, slides. Alright, so that's family history. So they should keep that. The box isn't that good to bother tipping the slides out. I don't think I would anyway. It'd be different maybe if it was a very early antique or Victorian box. I might ask them about it, but we'll leave that with the slides in it. And what's in the bag then? Otherwise, we'll just tip it out on the floor maybe. Looks like more. Oh, there's money. There's coins. Looks like foreign coins. So there was some film reels here. There's one. And that may have family stuff on it. I guess these are film reels in these containers. And some foreign coins. Well, that's an Australian 50-cent piece. All right, well, I'll put those in a box. So these boxes weren't very interesting, although they could be. The bottom one's full of lots of books, of old manuals and service books, a lot of computer type stuff. So there's some pretty vintage stuff there, including I did find some 5 1/4 floppy disks to suit an early computer, boot up disks and that sort of stuff. So there could be some value in there for me. This one was garden lights, and I've been pulling stuff down off another shelf around the corner. That's an old transformer from something. This one is a bit blitzer modem, so that's a nice early modem. I don't even know what this one is, just some sort of switch, a two-way T switch. So everything was kept, which is kind of cool for someone like me cleaning it up. The home light blower, it's a 2-stroke petrol blower. I'll just have to check, but I'm pretty sure they wanted me to take anything I could out of this back shed. There's lots of other paperwork in this section. Nothing much on this shelf I want, just some more garden stuff. Those tins are empty and they're too modern to be worth anything. There's a box of tiles. I did find another box of vintage computer cords and stuff, an old Microsoft mouse. I don't know what's in the bottom of this. So that one was up the top. So I'll keep pulling all the boxes down. Any that just have paperwork or personal stuff I'll just leave here. All the garden chemicals I'm going to leave here. These are probably records from the business, so I don't want any of that. Dangerous drugs register. Okay, he was a drug dealer, a legal drug dealer. Yeah, there's a lot of business records and cards, probably from before he had computerized systems, which is what everyone had to do. Oh, what's in this one? We have some more cords, just random electrical stuff. That's a doorknob. There's a ballast from a fluoro light. It looks like there's a brass plumbing fitting, so I'll take that. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be much on this back shelf that we're going to touch. I'll just quickly scan through each shelf. All the timber scraps can stay here. There's an old timber saw there. I might take that one, but I think the rest of it's all bookwork, which basically means we don't have far to go in this shed. Just got to clean off that workbench, and I need to take that workbench. I think it's well worth taking. Don't think there's much I want on it. And probably the biggest job is just to clean out that cabinet of all the hardware and bits and pieces. But I've got a few boxes on the go now, so we'll finish this shed as quick as we can. I need to get back to the van and start packing some more stuff. At least the rain's held off for now, but it's very warm in this shed. Okay, it's just after 2 p.m. I'm sort of got held up in the shed a bit. It's taking a while to go through it. I have found some cool stuff, and a lot of stuff I'll have to go through at a later date. I've finished that back wall. All the boxes up the top are all old shop records, so absolutely no good to me. Probably no good to anyone else either. They're all empty boxes up that side. I did find more cords and vintage computer stuff. A nice old kitchen clock. So that's a porcelain clock. It is a battery one, but it's an early battery one. So it's got a little bit of a chip underneath, but that's pretty cool. Lots more electrical stuff I'm just throwing in boxes. A really nice old piece of wood. Now this probably wouldn't interest most people, but it's a very old piece. It's nice and thick, and it'll be pine. And the good thing about this old pine, it has virtually no knots in it. Got a few stains and whatnot, but you know the old story, that might be handy for something. Doesn't take up much room, and it's thick enough to do something with, maybe a seat for something. I've found some of the old software and books for that Rainbow computer, so I've saved all those. There's another box. He saved everything, and a lot of the older generation did. All his old Windows upgrades, Quicken. Now there are some sharp little personal organisers. There's a couple of them, and I've got them. Where did I put them? In a box here. There's about 3 or 4 different ones, and I don't know if they've got a lot of value, but I'll just take them all for now. And the boxes have paperwork with them. There's some other old software stuff in there, so MS-DOS and all sorts of stuff. So I'll take it all and sort it out. And if there's anything personal I find in there, I'll give back to the family, but I don't think there will be. I did find the old Brother word processor, sort of the bridge between typewriters and computers, I guess. It's very yellow. I don't think it's of much value. I might just scrap it out. It's probably got a pretty cool board in there. We might even do a video on that one day, but I will, of course, check it to make sure they're not worth a fortune, but I can't imagine they would. So really all I have to do in this shed now is just clean off the workbench, pull out what I want to keep, and the rest of it I'll scrape into a box. I'll take the bench grinder, then I'll get the actual bench itself into the van because that kind of has to go in next and I can pack stuff around it. And there's nothing underneath I want. There's a vacuum cleaner. I'll just take the top for the motor and the cord. I don't want the whole vacuum. And the last thing to do is just clean out this cupboard and then we're finished in the shed. Rightio, let's have a quick rummage on the bench here. I don't expect there's going to be much that I want at all. Sometimes I just throw, there's a nice heavy piece of aluminium. Automotive globe. Sometimes I just throw this sort of stuff in a box and sort it out at home. I quite enjoy sorting out hardware, and all the nuts and bolts, as most of you regulars know, I throw into jars and sell. That's the frame from a coping saw, so not much value in that tray, but I might use the tray to put all the other stuff in and I can sort that out at home. I don't want these curtain things. Nothing in there I want. A foot off something. Looks like an outdoor PowerPoint cover, an older style one. Oh, well, there's not much here at all. Seeds, security lock, they'll be aluminium, and throw them in there. Lots of tech screws. Well, these are all new. I'll throw all the tech screws in. The big tub of tech screws I showed on a recent video was that one of my unboxings from my emergency storage shed, I think it was. We sold them the first day. A local guy, Justin, came in and grabbed those for 20 bucks. Bit of aluminium there. So he was happy with a good buy. I was happy to move them quickly. Wooden spoons, no good. That could be copper. Let's throw it in there just in case I don't have a magnet handy. More tech screws, part of a door lock, go in a dirty brass. That's probably clean brass. Long range socket, spark plug tool from something. The pocket knife, we will hang on to that, and that's the sort of good stuff you do find on a workbench sometimes. Whole pack of nails. Well, yeah, let's throw them in. Don't like good hardware being thrown out. And as I said, all this stuff will pretty much just go to the tip, I would imagine. There's some Lockwood keys on that. We'll hang on to that. A little latch thing. Some hardware sliding window lock still in packet. Bit more aluminium. That's just plastic. More keys. Oh, lots of keys. Let's pick up all the keys. A dragonfly. Been rather damaged. Not sure what metal that is, but we'll put him in there for now. More keys. That could be brass, it might not be, but we'll throw it in and check it later. An old window lock, that's die cast with steel. It could probably go in iron aluminium, it weighs a fair bit. Another one of these. They're like garden ornaments. That's a grasshopper. They're cute. And how are you going? Are you guys spotting things and saying, look, over there to your left. Don't leave that behind, it's worth a fortune. I don't think I've missed anything, actually. What's that? It's heavy. I think it's die cast. A marble. I haven't lost all my marbles. Well, maybe that one wasn't mine. I'm picking up other people's marbles. Wood screws. Alright, I think that's all we're going to grab. What's the jar? Yeah, just modern recycling. So that's all I want off the workbench. We'll take the bench grinder off. It's not bolted there, it's just sitting there. There's another key. Nice cool old vise on there. That's part of the bench. I think it is anyway. Doesn't feel like it's attached very well. There's no shelves or anything under there. What's down the back? It looks like a little mini pedestal drill or something next to the gumboots. We'll drag that out. Boxes of tiles. The bench has a floor on it. Looks like it's not just legs, so I'll have to clear that out under the bottom to get the bench out. Okay, well that'll do. We'll put this in a box. I'm going to sort all that out at home. And the rest of it I'll scrape into a bucket or a bag or something, and it's pretty all rubbish anyway. Well, there's a change of plans with this bench. I'm going to take the vise off it. It's quite loose, there's only a couple of nuts to undo. Because, and the reason I'm leaving it here, it's a shame because it's nice thick timber, is that if you can see those little holes there, it's full of borer. Okay, so right over it, it's riddled with borer holes. I'm not sure if they're live or not. I haven't seen any fresh dust, but it's going to be near impossible to sell through the shop, and I don't want to put it in the shop when it's got a chance of having live borer in it. The frame itself's only welded angle iron, so it's not super historic, but it was a nice top. However, I'm going to take the vise off it because I think that's worth taking, and it'll be easy enough to get it off, and the bench can stay here. Okay, after consultation with the owners, or at least the family, they've said no problems, take the vise off and have a look at it. I reckon it weighs as much as the bench. Big cast iron frame, very heavy vise. So that's a nice piece, well worth rescuing, and on its own probably nearly worth more than the bench was with the vise on it, because someone will probably put that on a much better bench. Anyway, that's off, I can pack that. So our shed here is done, except for that one cabinet. So all this stuff I'm just leaving for the family to deal with, which they were happy with, because I basically told them we will give you more money if we don't have to clean out all the rubbish. So that's all good. The ladder does stay, I've checked with that, and also they did want the brush cutter and the blower, and I've left a fuel can to go with them. So I'm glad I checked, because the stuff was supposed to be out of this shed and everything in here was supposed to be mine, but you know, messages didn't get through or someone forgot to do something, so it's always worth checking. All we have to do is this cabinet here and then pack things in the van, which I've continued to do, so it's starting to fill up, and I need to get back to the carport there. So I pulled a few things out of the top. There's some really nice drawers here, mostly empty, and these will certainly be good in my workshop. I do need to organise a lot of my parts. I think there was some bits in some of them, but nothing. Oh, there's chain jewellery at the back. I don't imagine it's going to be gold, but you never know. Old fluoro starters, they're no good really. So a lot of vintage stuff in here. What else is in this one? Yeah, just random shed bits and pieces. Oh, there's some little clasps in that bag of jewellery. They could well be gold, so yeah. I like fossicking for gold. This next shelf, we have a nice vise here too. That's a really nice swivel bench mounted vise. If I don't have a use for that, it will sell very well. A car sunscreen. This is a very old door latch, probably brass, the old thumb latch. Nice piece, I reckon that's at least $20. An oil stone. What's in here? A more modern gate latch. Oh yeah, more hardware, very long wood screws. A vintage Makita cordless drill, feels like it's in there. General hardware in that one. Genuine pop rivets, and they are original pop rivets in there. Kodak film cement, don't think that'll be any good. A few random bolts in an old desk organiser. Oh, it looks like it was a little display in the pharmacy for acetate. What's acetate? Was that a glue? Not sure. Oh, maybe it was like a nail polish remover or something. More pop rivets, general hardware. So I'll pack all these boxes and I'll sort them out at home. What's in this one? Not much. A nice brass sprayer. Is that a Riga one? It's in good condition. It is. It's a Riga sprayer. Very nice. And something computer again, perhaps a switch. Data transfer switch. So that box can be topped up. That's good. I was running out of boxes. A little caddy for tools, lots of hardware. We'll take all that and sort it out at home. Caulking gun. Various pens. That might be a Parker or a Papermate. still in its box. Here we have there's another one. Oh, look, that's got a little digital, back when digital watches were and clocks were the bee's knees. What's that double arrow? Is that Papermate or Parker? Not sure. Anyway, worth checking. Nice big hose clamp there, brand new one. New sanding discs. A little chisel carving set. Pretty cool stuff in here. This looks like it's just empty. I thought I might have had a pocket knife in it. Next shelf we have lots of hardware, and as typical, what's on the front doesn't indicate what's inside. Wood screws. Oh, there are wood screws in there. How about that? Sheet metal. Most of them are empty. And nuts and washers. Alright, so I'll go through all that. Little washers, wire nails. Oh yeah, cotter pins. Alright, so mostly empty by the looks of it, but we'll take that home. Another one behind it. Nails, screws, general hardware. Alright, it'll be good to go through. Some tyre tube repair kits for bicycles. Okay, I was interrupted by some guys here to check out the garden before. They've got to neaten the place up to get it on the market, and there's also been a guy here to look at giving the house a total clean out. So it's all happening. I've finished back here. I've taken what I want from here. I've got the half barrel and the bike. The people want the wheelbarrows for now, so everything else there stays. Oh, the only thing is, if I've got room, I might grab one of these other pot plants, but really that doesn't matter. I've finished the shed. There wasn't anything fantastic in the rest of that cupboard. Just some, lots of hardware and bits and pieces. So the ladder stays, I think I might have mentioned that, and the whippersnipper and the blower. So everything's done in here as far as I'm concerned, which is actually quite refreshing to do a job and not have to worry about having it all gone and swept out. We don't get to hear an echo this time, but I'm pretty happy just to walk away from this. I've got some pretty reasonable stuff out of here, and I'll work out a price based on what I find, how long it takes me, plus considering a full day here. It's now about 4 o'clock and I still haven't loaded from the main garage, so I've got to get onto that. But I can now close off this shed. The yard's pretty much done other than a couple of pot plants. I'll turn the light off here, and this shed wasn't locked, so we can just leave it as we found it. Oh, okay, I think it's locked now. I hope they've got a key for it. All right, that little robo mower is still going around the yard. It's really cute. I actually think I'd like to get one of these things. Maybe I can get that old one going. But it just potters around the yard. It almost has a bit of a personality. It just turns up when you don't expect it. And then when it's ready for a nap or a recharge, it goes back to its little base there, has a sleep, and then starts up again automatically and potters around the yard. The rain doesn't seem to affect it, and it does pretty well. So I reckon I might try and hopefully fix that other one up. Maybe it's possible. It'd be good on our front lawn. We've got a border right round it. It's basically just a square lawn with 2 trees in the middle, so it'd be nice not having to get the lawnmower out. So, all right, here we go. This is all finished. I'm not going to worry about any of these little pots. So, all done here. I've just got to get in. Oh, actually, probably could take the wind chimes and that bug zapper on the wall. And then we've got to start loading. Now, well, I mean, I have been loading. And there's a lot of stuff here, and all this on this side is to go as well. So look, we've still got a lot of room in the van, but there's a lot of stuff. So this will test my packing skills. I'll see if I can get it done before dark. It's almost 7 p.m. I'm quite hungry actually. I've had a few coffees to keep me going, but I'm heading off down the street to grab something to eat and heading home. We've finished the job. The only thing, I actually took a lot more than what I probably would have, given that I said would just pick the best bits, because I wasn't going to go through boxes. I just loaded everything. I got in my mindset that we normally do when we're emptying a house and just take everything. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit these last 5 boxes in because they're all books. They've actually got books to donate written on the boxes. There's some really good books in there, and I would have taken them had I been able to fit them in. but they're also extremely heavy, and the last boxes to go in the van, of course, have to go up high. So I'll leave those, and if the people are coming through Ngami want to drop them off, that'd be great. There's some nice books in there, as I said. Otherwise, donate them, that's fine. A little bit of stuff on that shelf that I didn't want. And there's some stuff that's basically rubbish. There's a box of cookbooks, and they're just modern magazine ones. Coat hangers, a big doona, a couple of plastic tubs that are broken. The ironing board I didn't want, it's got a big burn mark in it. And just a few bits and pieces, and of course a Christmas tree. I don't want Christmas decorations. So that's all I've left here. I'm sure they'll be happy that there's hardly anything they have to deal with. I've left the stuff I'm supposed to leave. I couldn't get these 2 plastic chairs in, but they're really of no value. I managed to get all the other chairs in, and we've got a big load. Here was I thinking we wouldn't have a full load. This is reminiscent of one of the farm loads, packed to the roof, all the way in. Some really heavy stuff amongst it. I've just got enough room to squeeze this little mattress in and then close the door. And down the side here, I'm not going to open the side door to show you that because it's packed in not very neatly, nothing stacked well. So there's some cast iron bits in there, the big half wine barrels in there, the plant. There's some boxes in the front seat, but I have got enough room to sit and enough room to change gears. So we'll call that a load. I'm going to sleep well tonight, but I'm happy to get it all done and don't have to come back up here again. So that's it, we'll finish this episode. I probably won't do a series on this deal. I mean, going through boxes, I'm doing that anyway on numerous playlists in my channel. If I find anything, well actually what we'll do is we'll probably continue with the e-waste that we got, because there's some pretty cool stuff, and there is that old Apple Macintosh computer I've got to show you guys. So we'll probably do a couple of videos on the e-waste that came from this deal and just see how much good value we got, because there was some old mobile phones, there was some retro games, there could even be an old gaming console. I'm not sure, I didn't look in all the boxes, but there was a bit of vintage stuff amongst it. So we'll call this episode finished. Whether there's going to be more or just a general e-waste unboxing, you'll have to hang around and see. Thanks for watching. I need a shower, I need something to eat, I need to hit the road. We'll catch you next time. Bye for now.